the riverboat cruise of Fort Lauderdale.
There you go.
As we begin to turn around over the New River Tunnel at this time, one of our first signs will be just over to your right-hand side. Will be directly in front of us as we're turning. Two-story white-colored house with a green trim and it's flying an American flag. And this is the old Strahan house, the oldest surviving structure today. Well, the house today has been taken over by Fort Lauderdale Historical and Preservation Society. It's currently a museum. The structure. Grew up here along the banks of the New River. The city's name was originally built here. The year was 1838. It was at the same time of the second of the Seminole Indian Wars. Tennessee volunteers arrived in the area under the command of a Major William Lauderdale. The volunteers led his parents. These homes sold in original price ranges of only about $4,000 to about $8,000. The homes were actually affordable back then. People therefore called this the first of the middle income housing areas in the whole entire city. Most of these sections today not affordable anymore. 3 to 4 million typically gets you in a fixer-upper on the New River. Around us still refer to them as their form of middle income housing, like the middle of their incomes, but certainly not the middle of mine. Going back ahead of us and back over to our left-hand shoreline, we'll be looking for a bright tangerine orange colored house with bright green trim. It will kind of look like a new house, but it's an older classic home. The orange and green house. And that's, of course, where the gnomes are assembling the snowman, and then the kind of Dickinson, in other words, Charles Dickens. And it doesn't look real now, and of course it won't look like real snow to an extent because it is south. Anyway, the new section that was added this year, it just came out of the box. Still working on the rest of the house. It'll be done shoreline. You see the large multicolored house coming in view. The colorful house to your right for years the neighbors nicknamed this the Lego house. It is, of course, many different colors like Lego blocks are. It also refers to the construction. The home was not assembled from day one with the intention of looking exactly like this. Started as a small fixer-upper special over a period of 2 decades. The house is added on 2 little pieces at a time. A Lego house you right, formerly owned by Michael Egan. You just saw his orange and green house just a few moments ago. This is the one to your right. He recently a single leaf or a piece of dirt or even a piece of mulch floating in the pool. Why is that pool always so pristine and beautiful? It's pretty simple. If you can afford to live in that house, you can afford to pay the pool guy to come every single day and clean the pool. He's here every morning. I happened to text the pool guy one day. I said, how often do you clean that pool? He goes, every day. I said, that must be expensive. He goes, it is. That would be the conversation. These local people, most people here knew that Wayne had a bigger house again. It was true. It was a big hassle. He decided to keep the new one and put the old one on at the market position. You know, so if you were out there in your private boat on Friday, if you had a big giant Royal Caribbean flag, you could have, gotten through security too. I keep on flying because I'm waiting for them to come and claim it. That's the reason for the flag. It was for the arrival of the ship. Sure, so it is true, it does somewhat resemble the White House in Washington, D.C. If you house worth that much, I doubt you'd actually care how much each tree would cost. News in the world is the fact that saved the ship. Basically, any previous characteristic features, when they built this one, number 6, that was the carryover feature, the twin smokestacks. We got some really nice hotels on both sides of the boat. Some of the other features, of course, most of these Royal Caribbean ships already have the rock climbing walls. It has dual rock climbing walls. It has thin surfing simulators called flow riders. They also have a zip line. The zip line, I can actually see it from here, and you can actually see the cable from that structure on the back there, and you can see the cable that goes forward. So the zip line actually is not a big angle, it just kind of goes down kind of slowly, but you can zip down to the middle of the ship, which is kind of fun. How can you see the features? That you're riding on, we only carry 300. Of course, on a lifeboat, you can't walk around. You're kind of in there packed like sardines. You're in there really tight. those lifeboats are a little smaller than we are, but again, the fact that each lifeboat carries more than we can, that is actually very, very impressive. But they actually had the company that makes those lifeboats, the Shaft Hartman company. Sorry, I talked to the pilot for a second. He wasn't calling me. He was actually